So here is the truck. The truck does have a tow package. It also has this button that you push for tow haul mode. When you are towing a camper, or usually towing anything, you need to have the tow haul mode on. That's what it's for. When you're trying to find out how much you can tow with your vehicle, what you do is you go to the owner's manual. Read the tips, the characteristics, towing tips, trailer towing, area. Mine's on page 295. This is a 2018 Chevy crew cab, four-wheel drive. Starting here is where they start showing what you can tow with the transmission you have and the size engine. You have to pay attention to, is it a 1500 series two-wheel drive, double cab, standard box? No, mine is not. So I have to go and search for what my truck is, which is here, 1500 series, four-wheel drive, crew cab, standard box. And I come over to the 5.3 liter V8 conventional trailer, and the max pounds on the trailer weight is 10,700 pounds. And the max gross weight, trailer, truck, everything included, 16,700. This is my camper. On the side of the camper, it shows where it's manufactured and everything else, what the model number is, and it also shows you the unloaded vehicle weight of this camper, which is 5,340 pounds. When you have something in it, it is 7,200 pounds is the max that you want to have in it. You do not want to have a lot of stuff in your camper when you're doing this. So the gross weight with each axle is 3,500 pounds on the axles and stuff like that. So I believe you add those two together, but the 7,200 pounds, that's the biggest one you got to look at. I also bought the Blue Ox system, which transfers the weight from the camper back to the camper and off the truck. It levels it out so the truck is only towing and it's not being pushed down to where, they also call them sway bars. But if you don't put the sway bars on, it will literally just sink to where the front end is up in the air, and you don't want that. So the sway bars are very important. I chose the Blue Ox because it has chains, and the chains can move and bounce and everything else with the road and everything while I'm driving. Now, I've seen the ones that go on and they're stiff and they're just, they're, to me, those are shit. They'll crack right here. They will crack your tongue right there. And I've seen videos of people that have completely broken this whole area right here by having those stiff tow bars. That's why I chose the Blue Ox. It was $1,500 additional to have the Blue Ox on it. I did go ahead and purchase the new valve, thermal valve for the side of the transmission. I got a new cover plate because when I was under there looking at it, for some reason I have a hole right up to the torque converter, and now rocks and debris and everything else that can get up in there. So I bought a new one of these, and I have a cooler system for the front that's going to be coming that sits in front of the radiator that I'll be putting on to help keep the transmission lower. Now I know that these transmissions have massive issues anyway. They're very expensive transmissions because of how needed they are, how much demand there is for these transmissions that are in these trucks. That V8 to V4 is just horrible. I can't believe Chevy even thought of it, but Chevy's always been known for better gas mileage than a Ford or a Dodge or anything else. And I've driven all three trucks. What I like about a Chevy is it runs like a Cadillac. It's smooth when it's running down the highway, running down the road, doing whatever. But You know, I just should have probably bought a Dodge diesel. It's probably what I should have done with the Cummins the Cummins engine. Um, and that's more than likely what I'm going to purchase next is that truck specifically so I can haul this camper and not worry about anything at all. Um, the Chevy 3500, I think, would be exactly the same thing. I would deal with exactly the same thing. Um, Transmission problems, everything else. Because Chevy just, I don't know what they did, but they're just not very good with transmissions. And I've owned Chevys most all my life. I've owned two Fords. I had Dodge back in the 90s, 80s, and 90s when I was working and painting. Loved my Dodge, although it was a smaller Dodge too. But it's very important to look at all of those different things when you are going to be buying a truck to tow something. You have to look at the gross weight, the max weight of what your truck can handle, and everything else. Um, and I appreciate, don't get me wrong, I appreciate everybody who has said something about how to fix it, what to do with it. All of it, I just put up here in my memory bank so that I can make sure that I can get that truck running and running well. If I have to replace the transmission after doing all the other stuff, well, I have to replace the transmission or get it rebuilt. One of the two. Um, but like I said, I'm not going to be towing anything anyway. But well, like I said, I will more than likely, not more than likely, I will be going with a Dodge diesel, um, larger truck, be able to tow things. A Cummins engine is second to none. I've had Cummins engines when I was in the military in those vehicles, and I just know how they tow. I know the engine. So anyway, that's that for now. I'm going to be showing you exactly what I'm going to be doing. But let me know. What do you keep telling me? What do you think? What do you think will help fix the truck to where I can make the transmission last a little bit longer? Should I go ahead and replace the torque converter now? I mean, that might fix it, help. Don't know. Let me know.